For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King. Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee released a previously classified memo alleging FBI misconduct in the early days of the Russia investigation. President Trump says what's in the memo is a disgrace.
A lot of people should be ashamed.
The GOP written document says the FBI relied excessively on Democrat-funded opposition research in getting permission to monitor a Trump campaign associate's communications. The Bureau says the document is inaccurate, while Democrats say it uses cherry-picked information to discredit the Russia probe. Former federal prosecutor David Weinstein says if the memo's to be believed,
it makes them appear to be doing exactly what the Republicans have been accused of doing, and that's to influence the outcome of the last presidential election.
You're listening to USA Radio News.
For some reason, being unpatriotic has become a trend as a way to protest perceived injustices in our country. But true patriots understand that America stands for liberty and justice for all. Standing for the flag and our national anthem is a sign of respect for the liberties and freedoms fought for by millions who made the ultimate sacrifice for this great nation. If you stand for the flag and kneel before the cross, show your position through apparel and merchandise from the Patriot Depot. Patriot Depot has hats, shirts, mugs, books, and other articles that show our beliefs in the First and Second Amendments. Go to PatriotDepot.com now and enter code USA at checkout. Find novelties, bumper stickers, clothing, flags, books, and more. PatriotDepot.com merchandise allows true patriots to express their opinions. Check it out right now. PatriotDepot.com. PatriotDepot.com and enter code USA at checkout.
The first dose of medical marijuana in the state of Texas was given Thursday to a 6-year-old epileptic girl, marking the official start of the state's highly restricted and anticipated market for the drug. The girl, who has intractable epilepsy, was prescribed a low-THC cannabis oil, an ingredient in marijuana that helps the patient get medical benefits without feeling high. The marijuana can only be delivered to the patient or caregiver by a special worker or a nurse. Police in Tehran arrested 29 women for disturbing public security during a protest against Iran's mandatory hijab law. 2 of the women arrested, Shima Babai and Leila Faraji, had their homes searched and belongings confiscated by the intelligence ministry agents. Women across Iran are removing their headscarves to fight back against the required Islamic dress code, with videos and photos on social media. This is USA Radio News.
The New York Times #1 seller, Portraits of Courage by former President George W. Bush, is a vibrant collection of oil paintings and stories that honor the sacrifice and courage of America's military veterans. Available in a standard hardback edition, as well as a deluxe boxed edition signed by President Bush himself. Go to PatriotDepot.com/Portraits of Courage to get yours today. Use coupon code USA Radio to save 10% off your entire order.
The newly released Nuclear Posture Review proposes a diversification of America's arsenals to hopefully develop smaller weapons. With more, here's John Clemens.
Deputy Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan says the nation's nuclear triad, which encompasses land, sea, and air-based capabilities, must not become obsolete.
Our nuclear triad has kept us safe for over 70 years. We cannot afford to let it become obsolete.
He also said America would use nuclear weapons only under extreme conditions.
The United States would only consider the use of nuclear weapons in extreme circumstances to defend the vital interests of the United States, its allies, and partners.
I'm John Clemens.
People are preparing food for the big game day tomorrow, and it seems that chicken wings is the #1 thing on the list. With more details, here's USA's Chris Barnes.
The National Chicken Council, which is the trade association for chicken producers and processors in America, claims 1.35 billion chicken wings will be consumed during the upcoming big game this Sunday. And the council's recommending if you haven't purchased your wings for the game yet, you better do so today while supplies are up and prices are low. As the council reminds Americans that while a lot of chickens are produced here, everyone only has 2 wings. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
Welcome to the Garden America radio show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
And a good Saturday morning. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being right there. This is Garden America. All of you on Facebook Live that are watching us, thank you for tuning in as we continue to increase our Facebook Live audience. Thank you. Questions, comments, post them right there on Facebook. John is not here today, so john@gardenamerica.com with your questions and comments will not work. So let's focus on Facebook Live, and we'll try to respond immediately. If you're watching on Facebook Live, as you can see, sitting in John's seat is our good friend Bob Reed-Miller. Bob, welcome back to the studio.
Good morning. It's nice to be here. Been a while.
It's been over a month.
It's
at least.
Been well over a month.
Well over a month. But you said you caught one of our shows last week on Facebook.
Yeah.
You weren't sure which show you were watching, though.
No, I got back on Facebook. I had gotten off about 10 years ago or 8 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I had to get back on because of the book that John and I wrote. And the publisher said, it'd be good if you were on for all the
you need social media presence.
Right. So I went, okay. And so I got back on. And then I thought, I got to see what the radio guys are doing. And it got there, but the problem is I'm still trying to manipulate myself around Facebook, and I don't know what I'm looking at half the time.
Right. Well, you were looking at us, though. You know, right?
That I knew. Motley Air crew you couldn't find on videos.
Hey, this is our first broadcast day on AM 1240, and later on this afternoon, AM 740. I want to thank Tony and the rest of the good folks at K-Bright Radio broadcasting our show now. From now on, you can hear... you can hear us live in San Diego on AM 1240, part of the K-Bright Communications. And then later on in the afternoon in Los Angeles, every Saturday afternoon from 2 to 3, the rebroadcast. And that station's got 50,000 watts, so you can hear us from Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, San Diego, covering most of Southern California. So again, to Tony and the good folks, again, thank you so much for having us on the air. Garden America on K-Bright, AM 740, and, of course, here in San Diego on AM 1240. Funny about AM 1240, used to be a country station back in the old days, KSON, and I used to do a morning show on KSON, AM 1240. I've come full circle.
It's all the way back around.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. Tiger Palafox, what's going on, my man?
I'm just sitting here quietly because I'm kind of bummed.
I don't want you to be bummed.
I know, well... I designed this show around John being here. Not that I don't love Bob being here, but...
Are you trying to work the camera and everything, or the phone, or what?
I'm trying to work what we're going to be talking about this morning into my intro here, where we're going to be talking about a flamethrower / weed killer. And I was really excited because if John was here... You know how he gets when I bring in props.
Right, and exactly. What are you
doing
now?
If I was to bring in a flamethrower and he was sitting next to me... I think I could finally get him to scream a little bit. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about setting up your camera angles with Bob being in the studio, but that doesn't make no difference.
That doesn't make any difference.
He's as pretty as ever.
Exactly.
Thank you.
No, I'm talking about...
Camera's right there, by the way. Don't forget. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Got the
I'm
nice
talking
short...
about our insurance policy, making sure it's paid up for today's show.
So we're going to be talking about flamethrowers. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking
about. That's what you're talking about. Hey, stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. John, as we say in the business, is on assignment. He's in Oregon. Delivering, depending on who you speak with or speak to, he's either delivering 20,000 or 800 roses. Is that right, Bob?
It's something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's bringing a bunch down that are rare and collectible and need to be protected.
Okay.
And so that's a good deal.
So we think it's somewhere between 800 and 20,000.
Yeah.
I'll go for more like 100.
Okay.
But these are rare and endangered roses that John is bringing to various organizations here in San Diego to repropagate and to keep them going.
Right. That's a great thing. And, with there are a lot of different rose groups in the area in Southern California and whatever. So it's nice to not have one group responsible.
Right.
You kind of spread them around, and if something goes sideways, you're covered elsewhere.
A lot of those roses are found in cemeteries.
I know, isn't that incredible?
Yeah,
the people planted like in the 1800s.
Yeah,
for their loved ones.
Roses are so tenacious; they'll just keep going, and that's where I know John does come across, and a lot of people, roses that you haven't seen in, like you say, 100 years or so.
Yeah.
So,
and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ping, the rose breeder, I think he's getting a choice of some of them to use in his hybridizing work because they're varieties or species that he hasn't been able to get a hold of. And
we auction off some of his roses on a yearly basis for the Coastal Rose Society.
Right, and he uses not typical varieties to come up with all the newer, tougher, better suited hybrids. So it'll be interesting.
So you had a good week, Bob? You're keeping busy?
Yeah. It's, springtime. I said before, I think winter's over.
No, we're going to have some more cold weather.
I know. Well,
it's playing havoc on the plant material.
But the sales are like through the roof.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now
everybody's out gardening in the gorgeous weather.
They want to get you excited about gardening. We spoke about this last week, though. Over at Mission Hills Nursery, where Tiger owns and operates that business, they will not sell a lot of plants. Excuse me. They won't sell a lot of plants that a lot of the big box stores do right now.
Right.
They want to, the big box stores want to get you all excited about spring and summer because it's warming up. And a lot of those plants, you'll take them home and they won't do well. They'll die in a couple of weeks. And you don't do that, right?
Well, yeah. And I mean, it comes down to making sure you know what you're getting because there are the plants, as John mentioned, the tomatoes. Yeah, right. I'm sure you can find some tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I'm sure you can plant them. And if the weather stays the way it is, that's okay. But if the weather dips at all,
it's going to dip.
And you know it's going to, then that tomato is going to die.
It's gone.
It's a waste of some time, a waste of a little bit of money. And, the biggest thing is that you feel discouraged afterwards. You feel you weren't able to be successful. And that's one thing we don't want people. We want our gardening friends out there to be successful and continue to do it because they enjoy it and not be discouraged all the time because they didn't have the best information possible.
Right.
And
tomatoes
are one of those things that everybody loves.
Yeah.
It's the number one plant, right, for home gardens.
Exactly.
So everybody wants them early.
Yeah.
And you keep telling them, no.
You got to wait.
Yeah.
So here in Southern California, don't let the weather fool you, basically. It's only February, 3rd?
Yeah.
And I know darn well it's going to get colder again, and we will have. You got to go to a baseball game in April, and it's still cold.
Yeah.
So we've got a ways to go. So this up and down fluctuation, like we say, don't let it fool you. And again, it's probably playing havoc with a lot of your plants right now as you look outside. For the rest of the country, I know the Super Bowl's in Minnesota tomorrow. It's been like minus 20.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're not to be 7 degrees or something.
So we understand your situation.
Yeah. And hey, Punxsutawney Phil yesterday said 6 more weeks of winter. So how can you not believe it?
How do you not argue with that, or how do you argue with that? I should say
the groundhog, the groundhog day. I remember that used to be a big thing when I was in elementary school.
Oh yeah,
Groundhog Day. Yeah. They talked. I forgot
all the time. We used to watch it in the morning.
I forgot about it,
especially back east when I lived back there. Grew up back, in Jersey.
What a big deal it was.
Oh yeah, because he's in Pennsylvania, so it's like he's a local hero.
It gets back. You were born and raised here in San Diego, right, Tiger?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and I know you're from Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, so when I was a kid, Christmas time here, it was sunny and 75 degrees, and we wished it would snow.
Yeah.
I think, gosh, I wish it would snow. It's not really Christmas here.
Yeah, right.
And then people back east, I got your friends of mine here, adults who have moved here, saying this is why I left back east.
Yeah. And it's funny because if it didn't snow, there were those rare occasions where you didn't have snow at Christmas back there.
Were you disappointed?
Oh, yeah. It was like, there's no snow.
Really?
But most of the time, you're up to your hiney in snow.
Yeah,
man.
So,
yeah, it's so funny the way people think, but I know a lot of people that left for that various reason, and especially if they're watching football, the NFL, and they're watching a game in California, San Diego, and they're 75 degrees in December, and they're thinking to themselves, We should move out there.
We would always get phone calls from the relatives.
They can't even leave their house.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't leave their house.
The ones watching the Rose Bowl parade.
Right, exactly.
They'd call and they go, "Oh, yeah, icicles on the house."
Yeah, and it's 65 degrees and a lot of sunshine.
Yeah.
So anyway, getting back to that, don't get lured into buying something a little too early. Wait a while.
Be patient.
And what give me an example of either one of you, something that a box store may try to sell you right now that's not a good time to buy, as an example, so people can pay attention to what we're talking about.
Definitely tomatoes is probably the number one.
Yeah.
But the worst, even above tomatoes, because you could actually be somewhat successful with a few varieties, is peppers. You plant a pepper right now.
That's where I was going.
And you're done. It's not going to do anything. Even if we had mild weather, it's going to be sitting in the ground for so long before it actually gets to that soil temperature weather and the heat outside.
They really need the heat.
That the plant's just going to be sitting there, and it won't do anything for months and months and months.
And you'll think that you're a failure because you're thinking to yourself, well, they sold it to me. They wouldn't sell it to me if they...
Right. What am I doing wrong?
Just try fertilizing it.
Exactly. Fertilizing more water.
Everything you shouldn't be doing.
Yep.
So the ground's got to warm up. So those are a couple of examples. Just beware of that. Tomatoes, obviously, peppers. We got to wait at least until, would you say March at least?
Well,
end of March.
And then the other thing I would say is any tropicals, because most of the time they're going to bring those from Florida or somewhere where they're more mild, and they could be okay, but they're also very tender.
Exactly. Yeah. It is break time. We're going to take that standard break at 60 minutes after the hour. We should come back with our quote of the week. John usually reads it. We'll have Tiger read it. And then our guest is standing by. Bob Reedmill is sitting in for John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox. Welcome to Garden America, 855-424-9825 if you have a question or comment, or post it right there on Facebook Live as we step aside, taking a break. Welcome to your Saturday morning, and, of course, happy weekend to you.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you have a small yard and think you don't have the room for fruit trees? Well, think again. Dave Wilson Nursery wants to show you how to grow great-tasting fruits like peaches, apples, pluots, and much more in small areas, even in patio containers, too. It's called Backyard Orchard Culture. You get step-by-step information via the Fruit Tube videos at DaveWilson.com. That's where you'll find the closest nursery to you that carries Dave Wilson's quality fruit trees. Start the backyard orchard of your dreams at DaveWilson.com.
I threw up this morning. The nausea from gastroparesis can be overwhelming. Have you been diagnosed with gastroparesis? If so, you might qualify for a clinical study for a new medication for nausea and the symptoms of gastroparesis. Qualified participants will receive study-related care and medication at no charge. Call 844-902-1212. That's 844-902-1212. This ad sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Have you heard about Biz TV? Biz TV is the home for America's entrepreneurs, small businesses, and those who want to succeed in life. It's the only national television network committed to airing original, high-quality, educational, and inspirational programming about real business people. Biz TV can provide the right kind of ideas, motivation, and education to help fuel the next generation of business owners. Visit BizTV.com and call your satellite or cable service provider to request Biz TV.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Mellberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
Welcome back. As we mentioned, Bob Riedmiller sitting in for John Bagnasco today. John on assignment. So pose your questions and comments right there on Facebook Live. I know we're starting to get some in. Do be patient, though. We want to get to our guest and save those questions or think about some more comments and questions as we move into the latter part of the show, actually latter part of this hour. You've got the quote of the week, Tiger, and then we'll get to our guest.
We got a nice short quote that John provided us with.
I like this quote, too. This is good.
Yeah. Never lose an opportunity of seeing anything beautiful, for beauty is God's handwriting. And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Very good quote. Very nice. Way to go, Ralphie boy.
Ralph always had a word, didn't he?
Ralphie boy. Way to go, bud. Okay, here on Biz Talk Radio, it is Garden America Facebook Live. Bob Riedmiller, Tiger Palafox. And this is going to be fun as we get ready to speak with Mel.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask Mel exactly how he likes to pronounce his last name or the correct way. Mel, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hello. It's good to be with you.
Hey, good morning, Mel. Hey, we got a question. How do you pronounce your last name?
It's pronounced Limon.
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 Right. Because we were thinking that because you're back east, and so we figured, some people might pronounce it Lyman back east, but here in California we have that
it's
kind of Spanish influence over here, and
so
we would
Limon.
definitely pronounce it Limon.
Very nice. Well, welcome to the show. We've got a lot of questions for you, Mel. It's going to be a fun show.
Okay, sounds great. I'm ready to go.
All right. So, Mel, thank you for joining us this morning. And as we had talked earlier in the week, Mel, this show is inspired by a viral video that's out there right now online. And I posted it to the Facebook feed right now that we're streaming live. So if people go to facebook.com and search for the Garden America show, you'll be able to see the video link. And it's a company that's founded by Elon Musk, who's a wonderful inventor of the Tesla electric car, behind a lot of things. But he also has some goofy things that he works with. And one of his projects is called the Boring Company, where they are trying to get behind some tunneling system to get our traffic off of the roads. And he every once in a while throws out interesting things on this website to sell. And as of recently, he's thrown a flamethrower on this website that they're trying to sell for $500. And it looks like a rifle, and it shoots flames.
Okay.
And it shows people in the video kind of like shooting them back and forth at each other and having a good old time.
Which we don't recommend, by the way.
Oh, which we're going to have a lot of disclaimers.
Don't try
show.
this at home.
but it inspired me to get Mel on our show because they actually have a product that is used in the garden and it's been around for a long time and is a flamethrower. So Mel, tell us a little bit about Red Dragon, yourself, and your guys' product line.
Okay. Our company, Flame Engineering, has been manufacturing handheld propane torches since 1959 in Kansas. And it was started by a father and son. Now the son is going to be 80 years old, and his son is also involved in the business. And we manufacture these handheld propane torches to eliminate weeds in gardens, thaw on ice, and a variety of other uses that can be for heat. A lot of our oil drilling companies use our torches to heat the metal as they make their connections, just a variety of things. But as gardening goes, that's one of the main reasons, is to eliminate some of the chemicals that are being used to kill the weed. And it is possible to kill a weed by exposing it to a little bit of heat until you see it wilt. And once you've done that, you've exposed that cell structure in the leaf, in the broadleaf. You boiled the moisture in it. It can no longer feed itself through photosynthesis. And so in a few days, it just dries up, including the root.
And the whole point of that is that it will not grow back because you've killed everything that has been sustaining life to begin with, right?
Exactly.
And you haven't used a chemical.
Right. You're killing the chemicals.
Right.
In this case.
And also it saves a little bit of effort, because I have, and just so you know, Mel, in studio right now, we're able to show people, I have the mini dragon. And hold on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're on Facebook Live, Mel, so Tiger's going to pick this up and try to get a good shot on the camera. It looks like a cane, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it
does.
It looks like a cane. It's yellow. It's got a handle on the top with a regulator valve that you're going to hook to the propane tank, and then you can just light it with a spark igniter. And then at the bottom, describe what people are going to want to see at the bottom where the flame comes out, because you have some great videos on your guys' website that talk about a few issues that people have and the safety of it, but at the same time, the effectiveness, that you want that to be a real hot flame, right?
Exactly. Well, propane is a clean burning fuel, and propane burns at over 2,000 degrees in the sweet spot. And that particular torch that you have there, our Mini Dragon, is becoming very, very popular with us. It's got a 1-inch bell, so you can do a lot of pinpoint flaming. So as you target the weeds in and around your garden and your precious plants, the typical plant that can withstand a momentary dose of heat, because you're not targeting that weed to char it. You just want to expose it to the heat until it wilts. Most plants that have a stem the size of a pencil or larger can withstand a momentary dose of heat as you're flaming in and around. For example, tomato plants or pepper plants or whatever they might be can withstand that momentary dose, and you're able to kill those weeds without using any kind of chemicals.
And I also have in studio with me, Mel, a few varieties of propane tanks, because what hooks up to the Mini Dragon could be a selection of different propanes. And when I maybe say propane, you might correct me because I don't know the exact terminology, but I'll describe you. What I'm holding up right now is basically the standard kind of round green camping propane tank. And then we have the blue propane that you would maybe use for, some kind of welding or soldering or anything like that. And then there's also the yellow, which is called, it says MAP Pro on it. And again, all of these are going to be able to connect to that Mini Dragon, but which one do you recommend them people using?
We recommend it can either be the long bottle or the short squatty bottle, but it must be propane. The MAP gas is mainly meant for welding type torches. Ours is not that type of a torch. So you use that vapor from that. So it must say propane, and you can use the 14-ounce cylinders up to the 1-pound cylinders, and they'll all make that connection to that Mini Dragon.
Okay. And so we were talking about how you don't have to use chemicals. It saves your back, too, because
bending over.
A lot of people can do this. I mean, the product looks like a cane. So, I mean, even if you stumbled, you can just kind of set it down. It'll save you from falling, kind of a thing. And it's sturdy, too. This isn't a flimsy metal, aluminum thing that's
down with a flame in your hand. I mean,
yeah, you have other things to worry about, I guess.
Hey, Mel, we're going to take a break, pay a few bills here and come back. So hold on to those thoughts. A lot more questions to ask. And again, on Facebook Live, if you have any questions, post those questions right now as we continue our conversation with Mel Limon. And we're talking about the flamethrowers, flamethrowing situation here as far as killing your your unwanted weeds. And we're going to come right back after this break. I'm Bryan Main. Bob Reed-Miller sitting in for John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. This is Garden America.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723. Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. Call 800-223-0092, 800-223-0092, 800-223-0092. That's 800-223-0092.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble. Help! I could barely move. Help! I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who can't work because of a serious injury or illness, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. It doesn't matter if you've applied before and the government has said no. Let the experienced attorneys at Bill Gordon & Associates help you get the Social Security disability you deserve. Their team of attorneys have been fighting for benefits for people just like you for over 20 years. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. There are many conditions that make you eligible, including some you may not even be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Bill Gordon & Associates today for your free no-obligation consultation. See if you qualify for the Social Security benefits you need and deserve. 800-470-4453. 800-470-4453. That's 800-470-4453.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right. General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
Back here on Garden America, happy weekend. Hope your Saturday is doing well so far. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook and wherever you're listening. New station this morning, AM 1240. And again this afternoon, this show will be replayed in Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, San Diego, Southern California on AM 740. K-Bright. So again, thank you to the good folks there. As we continue, Tiger, we're talking about flamethrowers this morning, tanks and so rockets and everything else military. Not really. We're talking about killing weeds and a great product line.
So, Mel, as we introed into the show, we talked about this product that is from the Boring Company, the Flamethrower, and I know you've seen the video of it, and people are kind of questioning true or false, but then they're also kind of questioning the safety of something like this.
Yes.
Now, in your experience, what do you think? What do you think of this flamethrower torch that they're trying to sell online here?
Well, personally, I would not recommend it to anyone, especially using it to target towards another individual, because it is a live flame, and you might be able to send some hairs.
Yeah, right. Or worse. Yeah, you never know. Now, you had mentioned you guys have quite a few product lines, and we're just mostly touch on things within the gardening industry of it because obviously that's what our listeners are interested in. And you have the Weed Dragon, the Mini Dragon, and the Red Dragon Torch, but that's kind of more on the industrial end of it. What are some things that people need to consider when using this product? I mean, one of the things we talked about earlier this week was just the usage and being, okay, you're in California, you're going through a drought. It's a red flag warning this weekend where people are cautious of any kind of open flame. That's the case for us, but then back east, it's raining, it's cool, whatever. They have controlled burns for people to be able to light their trash on fire and stuff like that on a regular basis because they're much greener environment where there's moisture in the air and moisture coming down. What do you kind of give out there for people to kind of consider when they're using a product like this?
Well, I think it's really important that they use common sense. And if you're in a time when our torches are meant to be used during the growing season when everything is green. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you're not going to be able to start fires unless you really want to. But as long as you're using the torch the way it's intended to be used during the growing season, and everything's green around you, you still want to be sure that there's a water hose near you or a fire extinguisher because you never know. So it's important to use common sense. And if there is a red flag warning in your area, don't use it. Mm-hmm. Wait till there's some moisture or turn the sprinklers on, get everything nice and damp, and then use it.
I was just going to ask you about that.
It can be used over mulch, because there's a occasion where those weeds will come through even mulch. And if the mulch is wood, then that becomes flammable. But make sure your sprinklers are on, or take your hose and water it down, and then in just a matter of seconds, you can kill those pesky weeds that are coming through your mulch.
Yeah, because any water that lands
common sense.
Yeah, any water that lands on the weeds or anything, that's going to evaporate right off when you put the flame to it, but everything else will stay wet around it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And since you're just using a matter of seconds to kill the weed, there's no harm in trying to do that and without risk of fire.
And that's funny because in our thought process usually in gardening, if you're going to use a weed killer, you want to avoid watering because you don't want it to wash up. Right. Most of the time you don't water your garden while you're working in it because you don't want to be working in mud or muck or anything. But this is awesome because you can water your yard, but then directly afterwards you can start treating it for weeds, which is not a super common thing. I'm always cautious of the when I'm going to water to when I'm going to weed process, because you gotta wait to use the pesticides. You gotta wait till it's sunny.
And
and
always when you're using a spray, you shouldn't do it when it's windy.
Yeah.
And with this little pinpoint flame,
yes,
you could do it when it's windy too.
Yeah, we should talk about how this
yeah.
flame is directed very well toward whatever it is that you're trying to get rid of, right, Mel?
Exactly. Great for pinpoint flaming, and there is, as you were talking about, you're referencing, there is no runoff.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the neighbor's yard getting chemicals in it, or your animals, or anybody out in the yard, because you're using a flame, and it's not going to contaminate anything else.
And when we were on break too, I mentioned to Tiger, I never even thought about it, but having grown up back east, when you're not using it in the wintertime, it's perfect for getting the ice off your stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely.
So you don't have to go out there chipping and hacking with a shovel, and you've got pretty much use of that tool all year long. It's not like it goes into hibernation for the
One
winter.
Of the things,
yeah,
because salt can damage your sidewalks. It may damage that concrete.
And the plants, yeah.
Exactly. So with a torch, you can go out there and eliminate that freeze thaw that may occur during the wintertime. When the sun comes out, it thaws that ice. Then when the temperatures go back down, it freezes. With one of our torches, you can go out there and literally melt the ice, sweep that moisture that's been developed, and continue to flame in a sweeping motion, and you'll dry the area and eliminate that freeze thaw.
And then the one thing I thought of right now is, people with paver patios, with sidewalks, they usually use herbicide because you can't really get in there and pull the weeds in those cracks.
Yeah.
And they're tough. And they use an herbicide, and then the weed dies. It's brown. It's sitting there, and you got to still pull it out somehow because it's unattractive, right? And so you got to still get in there with a knife or whatever. Well, with the red dragon, you flame it.
Crispy
it goes crispy. You can just sweep all of the particles away, and it kills the weeds in the cracks. And it's you could probably do that almost any time when you're flaming concrete or a paver patio or something like that. And and that's a great way to use it, so you don't have to use a chemical. You can get rid of the weed, and you don't have to get down on your hands and knees. So that's a pretty neat thing.
You just have to use a lot of common sense and just be very careful and understand the conditions in which you're using it in terms of the red flag, so on and so forth.
Yep. Absolutely. And one of the other things about flaming is that as you're killing that weed and that weed dissipates, you're actually adding nutrients into the soil.
That's right. You're making mulch.
Hey, now, Mel, you guys sell these products online, but then you guys also sell them at local retailers. Is that correct?
That is correct. We sell on our websites at flameengineering.com, as well as you can find these at Ace, True Value, and a lot of other independently owned hardware stores.
And then the propane tanks that go along with them are usually, what do these usually run, Mel? You probably know better than me. $5, $8 kind of a thing?
You can get, typically you can get 2 in a package for around $6.
Yeah.
So, and on that mini dragon, you're going to get almost 2 hours worth of flame time on that 1 pound cylinder.
If you're walking around killing weeds for 2 hours, you have a big job ahead of you.
You need a mower.
Yeah, right. Oh, wow. So, for $6, you could hit the yard multiple times over. Easy to use product. And that's a pretty cool thing. And you guys have been doing this for years and years and years. You guys have got this thing dialed in where it's pinpoint accuracy. I see you guys have a ton of videos where you guys have kind of the how-to, because I'm sure people this is kind of like I'm thinking like shooting a gun for people.
And
they're a little squirmish initially.
Yeah, right.
But I think that if they go online, they check out a lot of these videos, it takes away a lot of the scariness of it, because it's actually a really easy, and once you do it, it's a no-nonsense kind of a thing. So
it's like using a regular propane torch for the first time. It's kind of unnerving.
Right. Yeah. Even people who use barbecue propane for the first time, and they fire it up, and then afterwards they go, "Oh, this is easy."
Whoosh. Yeah. And then no eyebrows.
Yeah. We have an area on our website that's choosing the right torch, so that way they can determine what torch would best fit them. And then we also have what's called Flaming 101. that tells them exactly how to use the torch. And then we also have videos that way they can see how the application should be done.
All right.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Mel, this morning. Thank you very much for answering our questions. We definitely won't be using the mini torch as a flamethrower in studio this morning, but we make sure everybody can see it, and our insurance policy stays intact here at the studios.
If you had brought two, we could have reenacted that video that Elon was doing.
But great product.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. All our products are made in the USA, and we're really proud of that fact.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Go America.
All right, flameengineering.com for more information. And thank you very much, Mel. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, and you've got the link on our website, Facebook Live right now, Garden America. Okay, it is break time. We've got one more segment coming up, which is, open phones or open questions. So questions, comments on Facebook Live right there, or 855-424-9825. It is almost 46 minutes after the hour. Bryan, Maine. Bob Breedmiller sitting in for John Bagnasco. Tiger Palafox here on Garden America.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 11ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.11ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 11ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way. Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed.
Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1769. 855-325-1769. That's 855-325-1769. Are you ready to leave your corporate job behind and be your own boss? Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Do you have $50,000 or more sitting around in a 401k? If you answered yes, it's time to invest in yourself by buying or starting a business or franchise. IRS code allows you to use money in a 401k to invest in a business with absolutely no penalties or taxes. At Guidant Financial, we've helped more than 11,000 entrepreneurs invest $3 billion in retirement assets into the small businesses and franchises of their dreams. So if you've got $50,000 or more in a 401k and you're looking for a way to start a business, call Guidant Financial now for free information and to learn more. Operators are standing by for your call. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at GardenAmerica.com.
Right back here on Garden America. And again, John Bagnasco on assignment. Bob Riedmiller sitting in for John. This is our last segment, hour number one. But, of course, we have 2 hours every Saturday. And, again, want to thank the good folks again, Tony and the people broadcasting us now on AM 1240 live here in San Diego. Rebroadcast every Saturday afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m. on AM 740. That is K-Bright Radio. So, again, thank you so much. It is almost 52 minutes after the hour. Let's get to a couple of questions if we have them. I know Dale had one earlier on, Tiger, after we had our guest first of all. So let's get back to those questions.
Yeah, Dale had asked any suggestions or any info on being successful with my sugar plum poppy. And so to clarify, what Dale's referring to is the poppy, the Papa poppy, which is the common kind of annual poppy flower that kind of comes up in any area for the most part. And they can be difficult for some people because, like a dry desert-style flower, the biggest thing that people have a challenge with when it comes to growing these is getting them started and then having them continue to grow. And the one thing that people need to know, poppies, California poppies, Papa Bear poppies, any of those dry climate flower seeds, they need some water. So you water them initially, but then you really don't water them until they start to grow again, because that's kind of what you think would happen in nature, is that they would get a rain, and you don't get constant rain. You get a rain that kind of sends the seed into growing, and then it begins to grow, and then you water it mildly as it grows. And then after about 4 inches tall or so, it's kind of an established plant. You really have to back off on the water. And like a tomato, you would almost only water it when you see it wilt. So these flowers or these leaves will tend to kind of wilt a little bit. And
so it'll tell you when it's thirsty.
Then you water it again, because people will put them in the yard where they're getting 3 days a week sprinkler water.
Too much water.
And then they grow, but then they don't ever continue to grow because they rot out. They die. The roots stay too wet. And they're not accustomed to that. They're accustomed to drying out. And so that's the thing that I think people have the most trouble with, is they overwater these poppies. So they need to understand to back off on them. Put it in a porous soil, something that drains real well, so that way the water's not sitting around the root system for very long. And then after that, it should be really easy. I mean, these are the poppies that grow in the fields of Afghanistan all by themselves, kind of a thing. So this isn't exactly something that needs a lot of help once it gets going.
But just don't overwater it. Wait till it tells you that it needs watered by the leaves kind of looking a little helpless.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember when Bruce and Sharon got Horticulturists of the Year?
Yeah, because John and I did a roast.
Right.
Were you there at the roast?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the funniest things that whole night, you know how Bruce is so meticulous and so learned on all kinds of things.
Yeah, he's sensei, you know.
Yeah,
He's Yoda.
Somebody asked, how do I know when to water my whatever? And Sharon said, go ahead, Bruce. And Bruce went up to the microphone and he started talking, and he went into this long, lengthy dissertation about soil perk and all this kind of stuff and gallons per minute and on and on and on. And the audience was starting to nod off. And so he finished, and then Sharon came up to the microphone and she said, I usually wait till they wilt and then I give them water. The whole place broke up. It was so
funny. The house down because Bruce has that old scientific explanation. You know, when
there's two ways. You know,
sun patients are the same way, and that I have in pots at home, and I know darn well when they start to look bad, they start to droop over, and within 20 minutes they're right back up again. And they let me know. So usually that's a good indicator for everything that I have in the patio when it's especially hot. Right. Besides looking at the soil, is looking at those guys and letting us know, or letting me know.
And I will say, Dale, the Papa Bear Poppy, the sugar plum one that he mentioned is a beautiful one. But if people are interested, these flowers are absolutely gorgeous. They have all kinds of them with fringes on it, with smooth petals, with different colorations. There's one called Drama Queen, which is red and burgundy, and it's got this fringed look to it. And there's the Ladybird one that's red with black spots on it. And so they're fun to just throw out into your garden and just kind of let them go.
Yeah.
And they'll actually reproduce too, because this is the standard poppy that sends up that poppy bulb, and then it splits open, all those seeds drop, and you get 20 more plants next year.
Poppies reseed very easily.
Yeah.
And lots of seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Have fun with those, but probably if you're not successful, you're overwatering them.
Okay, so don't overwater, Dale. Wait till it tells you that it needs water.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about 56 minutes after the hour. News coming up on most of these Biz Talk Radio affiliates, top of the hour. Still have some time, though, for your questions and comments. And again, Bob is here for John Bagnasco. This weekend is, I don't know, John is in Oregon bringing roses.
Playing with roses
he's
again.
Driving somewhere, right?
He's driving all the way from by himself.
Is he really?
Well, I'm guessing. Who would go with him? His son, maybe?
Well, no, I didn't. I meant that he was driving.
Yeah, just to drive him back.
Oh! I thought he was going to arrange at the airport to get him.
Now we're guessing.
He flew up. No, he told us he's flying up
and then driving back,
and then renting a van and driving them all back.
So he's got a lot of roses.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have 20,000. Who knows, or so.
No. Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's what he does. He's the rose whisperer.
Well, any news on the Facebook page about our book?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about? Let's talk about. We got a few minutes here. How is your book doing? The book that you and John wrote is called
Success with Succulents.
Success with Succulents. Yeah. So again, a lot of C's and S's going on there.
Lots of things.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's doing well. You can, as an author, you can go in and see how many units are sold or whatever, and you'd think, oh, gee, that's not very many. It's been like about 400 copies or something.
Awesome.
But it's only been up a month, really.
Okay.
A month and a half. And so it's spread around through social media, and Mary James is doing an article for the San Diego Home and Garden magazine in March. And
talking about your book?
Yeah, and so it's going to pick up more and more, but it's getting great reviews. I mean,
well, that's good.
Yeah. So
from the photography all the way down to the information?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people, which is really interesting, saying that aside from the fact that it's got so much good information in it that you can go back to anytime you want, it's nice enough to leave as a coffee table book.
Very good.
So it's like, well, geez, we didn't plan on that, but great.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, that is going to do it for hour number one. Remember, this hour replayed this afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. on AM 740 in Los Angeles. So again, I want to thank the good folks at AM 1240 and, of course, AM 740. We're back again next week, hour number one on those stations. But again, hour two coming up. Facebook Live continues. Bob Riedmiller in for John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. This is Garden America. News coming up next on many of these Biz Talk Radio affiliates.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com.
Biz Talk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King. The father of 3 girls who were sexually abused by former Team USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar lunged at him inside a Michigan courtroom during his sentencing hearing yesterday. Randall Margraves ran toward Nassar before he was stopped by multiple deputies. After he was released from jail, he spoke at a news conference.
When I had to hear what was said in those statements, and I have to look over at Larry Nassar shaking his head, that's when I lost control.
Eaton County Circuit Judge Janice Cunningham said she understood how the parents in the room felt. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis warned Syria yesterday against repeating its use of chemical weapons, hinting that the United States might retaliate again if it did. The Syrian government was accused last year of using sarin gas against its own citizens. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hey, it's Brandon. Have you been sticking to your New Year's resolutions? I've been saying for weeks now, it all starts with getting a good night's rest, and MyPillow wants to help you get that quality sleep you deserve. So they've extended their best offer ever. The good news is when you buy one MyPillow, you get another one absolutely free. The bad news is you have less than 2 weeks left to take advantage of this offer. Just go to MyPillow.com and make sure to use the promo code USA. MyPillow is 100% machine washable. After you wash it, toss it in the dryer and it's like new again. No more embarrassing yellow stained pillows. MyPillow also comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. To take advantage of MyPillow's very best offer, go to MyPillow.com, click on the buy one, get one free special, and use the promo code USA, or call 800-951-8175 and use the promo code USA. You can also use our promo code to get up to 50% off of all items on the MyPillow website. That's MyPillow.com.
Navy officials have issued additional punishments for sailors involved in the collisions of 2 separate 7th Fleet crashes last year that claimed the lives of 17 sailors. 4 of the sailors received non-judicial punishments, which are disciplinary actions that aren't quite a court-martial. The Navy concluded last year that the 2 collisions between Navy destroyers and commercial vessels were avoidable and the result of multiple human error. The new jobs report is out, and Chris Barnes has details.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics says non-farm payrolls grew by about 200,000 in January. That's when most economists surveyed ahead of time were expecting about 180,000 new jobs. The government report following one from private payroll firm ADP. 2 days ago, its report said that private sector payrolls increased by 234,000 jobs. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
This is USA Radio News.
Hi, this is Wayne Alaroot. I'm a father of 4, and I worry every day about this dangerous world. There are so many things that could go wrong. Economic collapse, stock market crash, terrorist attack, war with North Korea. There's a lot to worry about when it comes to protecting your income, assets, and your family's future. Thankfully, my good friends at Tangible Investments are your safe haven from the storm. Call now, and Tangible Investments will send you absolutely free a 1-ounce American Silver Eagle along with your guide for investing in precious metals. To receive your free American Silver Eagle, call toll-free 800-780-9000. That's 800-780-9000.
Now with a look at world headlines, here's Luke Vargas.
France won't sign a free trade deal with the United States unless President Trump commits to the Paris Agreement on climate change. Addressing the French Parliament, Secretary of State Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne said that the U.S. knows what to expect.
Les Américains, par exemple, savent à quoi s'en tenir.
And France is not alone in standing up to Trump's climate policies. The European Union's trade commissioner wrote on Twitter Thursday that reference to the Paris Agreement is now needed in all new European Union trade deals. A UN court has for the first time demanded that one country pay its neighbor for environmental damage, and it's putting a price tag on that damage. On Friday, the International Court of Justice ordered Nicaragua cough up nearly $400,000 to Costa Rica to cover damage to a wetland caused by river dredging in 2010. The court's decision to financially value environmental damage could prove a historic precedent as the court takes on future cases involving climate change. And the U.S. is imposing an arms embargo on South Sudan, citing continuing violence that's created one of Africa's worst humanitarian crises. The U.S. is also asking the UN Security Council to go a step further by imposing an international arms embargo on South Sudan. According to the UN, 5 years of civil war in South Sudan has left half of the country's population in severe need of food assistance, while some 2.5 million have fled the country altogether. Luke Vargas, The United Nations.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on ConsumerAffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
It is hour number 2. It is 6 minutes after. Thank you so much for being right there. Facebook Live audience, thank you. Questions, comments, post them right there on Facebook. Or you can call us at 855-424-9825, just like May has done, as we go to May, who is on line right now. May, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. You are calling from what part of California again?
Santa Maria.
Santa Maria. How's your morning so far, May?
Beautiful.
Excellent. How can we help you?
Well, I bought a little camellia about 2 weeks ago, and I read up on it, and it said it needed to be damp, and I think I've overwatered it. I've had a leaf fall off and a couple of buds, and I'm not sure how do I wait and get it dry.
That is the trick, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you bought a camellia a few weeks ago, and it was in bloom, correct?
It hadn't bloomed. No, it had little buds on it.
It had buds on it, and then you brought it home and you planted it. Or
I just left it in the pot. I just transplanted it yesterday.
Okay. And the buds fell off before or after you transplanted it?
Before.
Okay. And so you're feeling maybe you overwatered it a little bit while it was in the pot.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a couple things that could have happened, May. First off, as we kind of talked about in the beginning of the show, depending on, when you buy plants, you have to know where they came from. So camellia growers here in California, they usually will grow them in a shade house or some kind of protected area. And because of that, if you take it home and you live in an area where maybe it gets a little warm during the day or maybe cooler at night, that can affect the plant. Buds can fall off, flowers can explode. And when I say explode, what they call a shatter. So if it's in full bloom, sometimes the petals will just all fall apart, like they shattered. And that's just because they were moved from one environment to another, and they needed to adapt. And usually flowering is the first thing that the plant gives up to save itself. So it kind of drops buds, drops flowers to make sure that it can sustain itself and continue on after this dramatic change it's had. If you overwater in the pot, it should be easy to allow it to dry out. Just don't water it anymore. Most mixes are pretty well draining, and if you allow the water to come out of the bottom of the pot and go away from the soil, it should dry out pretty quickly. It should only take a day or two for the plant to dry out. Now that you've put it into the ground, you have to be a little bit more cautious.
I put it in another pot.
It's in another pot.
Another pot. Now, did you put it into a bigger pot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with lots of drainage holes.
Well, you should be fine then, as Tiger mentioned, because that's the beauty of plants in pots, is the fact that they can drain. There's good drainage, and you can let it dry out.
Is it, question, is it significantly bigger, the new pot?
Oh, yeah. About 3 times the size.
That can sometimes be a problem in the fact that you've got such a larger volume of soil that gets wet.
But I think all in all, what we're saying is it should be okay if she just stops watering for right now.
Yeah, it should be, yeah. It's just going to take maybe a little bit longer with that much more soil.
I just had little white
Go ahead,
specks on it, and I just wondered what can I do to make sure it doesn't get full of bugs.
White flecks, so it's got maybe some aphids or whitefly kind of going around. Is that what you're saying?
I'm wondering, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just a neem oil, insecticidal soap will take care of that problem.
Just a little soapy water on the leaves?
Yeah, you just got to be consistent with it, and that'll be fine. But a neem oil, if you want to use a product, their Fertilome has a product called Triple Action, which is a good one to use. So those will take care of that really easily.
Tiger, do you find that camellias are a little bit sensitive?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're a lot like a ficus in that respect, where if you disturb them, they start dropping.
Right.
But once they get established, then they're
like trying to transplant a bougainvillea.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's like my 2-year-old son. I never know how he's going to wake up in the morning. He's sensitive.
Exactly. So let it dry out, basically. Keep an eye on it. Use the neem oil, and just give it a little care. And feel free to call us back in a week or so, a couple of weeks, and let us know the progress. We'll give you more direction, but that should do it.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, May, for the phone call. Do appreciate it. 855-424-9825 or Facebook Live. Questions, comments here. Bob Riedmiller for the Rose Traveling John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan May. This is our number 2. And, yes.
Yeah, we've got a question from Rick, and his wife wants to plant some bare root roses. What is the best way to plant them, and is there a certain potting mix, especially for roses? You want to take that one, Bob?
No.
You want to call?
You're replacing John.
I know.
You're sitting in John's seat.
Yeah, this is a rose
That's
question.
fine.
And roses are fairly simple. We do
They are.
Yes.
And if you're putting them into the ground, as long as you mix something into the soil to make it real rich and humusy and earthy,
right?
And all that kind of stuff. Lots of organics.
If you're lacking nutrients, first of all, what kind of soil are you talking
Depends
about?
on where you are. Like in Carlsbad, when we moved there in '69, it was that horrible gray clay,
right?
That doesn't drain, and it took forever to get the soil up to a point where you could grow a rose decently.
Right.
So just mix in a lot of good composted material. If you're going to put it in a pot, probably any standard potting mix.
We like Ocean Forest.
Ocean Forest is wonderful.
Is wonderful, Rick, yeah.
It's got good drainage, and
it's from Fox Farms. If you want to look that up,
should be fine. And now, when you put them into the hole or even in the pot, the roots have got sort of a natural cone shape to them, and so you want to build up a pile of soil in the middle and set the roots down onto that, and then fill in over them, water it in, and should be good to go.
Yeah, not much. Roses don't need heavy babysitting for the most part.
They are a giant, pretty weed.
Yes,
is what they are.
Exactly.
They are really tough.
Right.
And they're related to blackberries and that whole family.
That whole family,
which doesn't need anybody's attention.
Right.
You put them in the ground and they're off and running. So.
Just make sure you feed the soil as Bob mentioned. Give it some nutrients, and it would be nice to know what kind of soil you have. But
that would help, yeah. And something that we found too, Tiger, I don't know if you've ever run into this, but there was a place in Carlsbad that was a rabbit farm. And they used to let you come in and take out the rabbit droppings to use. And it is a great food for roses. It doesn't burn.
You just put it right in the soil there and water it in?
On top and water it in. And, man, my mother's roses went bonkers.
How about that, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know if you've got a rabbit ranch near you, but at some point that might be a good thing to get a hold of.
But biosol, Milorganite.
Milorganite's a wonderful thing to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just make the soil rich, give it lots of water, and it should be happy.
So there you go. What else do we have, Tiger?
Well,
people slowing down on Facebook.
I know, huh?
Come on, people. What's going on? Hey.
Come on, we're not here.
We can see you. You think we can't see you?
Not only that, we had to give up one of our luxuries before the camera when we could come in here in pajamas.
Yeah, we could come here looking
unshaven
any way we wanted to look. Look at that trimmed mustache the man has for you.
Did the mustache? Had to shave. I mean, come on.
I will. So Dale followed up with a question regarding the poppies, and he said that he had 3 flowers from last year and gave him hundreds of seeds. As we talked about, they produce a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say that he probably just going to go and toss them in the garden and see what comes up. That's one of the best ways to grow those poppies because that's the easiest way to do it. And I will tell people that now is the time that if they're planning on doing any kind of guerrilla gardening is when you really need to consider it, in the sense of, if you're planning on throwing some wildflower seeds out there, just right now is probably the best time to get out there and do it, because there's a good chance we're still going to have some rains. So you throw it out now, the rain comes, gets them into the ground. They come up. Some of them are going to come up this spring. Some of them are going to come up in the fall. Some of them are going to come up next spring. But once you get that constant base of wildflowers in that area, you'll start to see that area expand and grow and develop with more and more and more. And I definitely am planning on doing that in my area, because I have a canyon behind me, and I'm going to plant a bunch of poppy seeds in there. California
Speaking
poppy
of poppies,
seeds.
I thought you were going someplace and didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Making the seed bombs.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun, huh?
I mean, with all the seeds that he's getting, and you could go online and find
now,
out.
what is a seed bomb?
Well, bomb.
Like
bomb.
Seed bomb.
No, not seed bomb. That's SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
No, you get. There's all kinds of different mixes. You can look it up online.
It's a way of spreading the seeds.
Yeah, you make this clay mixture and you mix in the seeds and you let them dry and they turn into hard little rocks, And then you go
just toss
driving
them
down the road past an empty lot someplace. You pitch them out into the lot, and when the rains come, the seeds are there and.
It's got a little bit of fertilizer,
flowers,
all of that in there.
Another way that is when birds drop seeds.
Yeah,
that's
you
a
get
seed
those
bomb.
Well, you're like being kind of a giant bird.
And you get volunteers out there. 60 minutes after the hour, Facebook Live. We continue on Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. If you want to speak with us, that's a telephone. Bob Reed-Miller for John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. Taking a break. It is Garden America. We are coming right back.
It's bare root fruit tree season, and you probably have a million questions. Which fruits will grow well here? What are the tastiest fruits? How do I care for them? The answers? They're just a click away with the informative Fruit Tube videos at DaveWilson.com. That's Dave Wilson Nursery, the nation's largest grower of fruit trees for the backyard garden. They have planting tips, taste test results, and links to nurseries in your area that carry Dave Wilson fruit trees. Your harvest to better health begins at DaveWilson.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
Back here on Garden America, Bob Reedmiller, Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox here, 855-424-9825. Or questions and comments right there on Facebook Live. They say you shouldn't eat when you're on the air. And I just ate some Ritz crackers with peanut butter. Of all the things, peanut
perfect.
butter.
Yeah.
And I'll spend an hour getting them out of my teeth.
Like one of those dogs.
Exactly. And don't drink milk either.
Yeah.
Terrible things to eat when you're on the air. Okay, again, 855-424-9825, and we'll get you on the air. Or I was going to say John at gardenamerica.com, but not this week.
John's not here,
Next
man.
week. John's not here. Facebook Live with your questions and your comments. So, Tiger, what's happening?
Well, you know, before the break, we were just wrapping up the conversation on the seed bombs.
Spreading seeds all over the place.
And now's the time of year you want to do it. So even if you're planning on doing it just in your own yard, now's the time of year that you want to also do that for your flower beds and things. Biggest thing I want to remind people, because we do have a landscape service as part of our business. And when you throw seeds in an area,
don't be a killjoy now.
And you have a landscaper, or even for your own knowledge sometimes, because you might put seeds out there and weeks later you forget that you did.
Oh, that's right. What you threw out there.
Yeah, is mark off the area, because you start to see these little sprouts come up.
And you pull them up,
and then you
have no idea what it is.
Weeds,
you get
or
the red dragon torture,
exactly. Or your landscaper comes through and hula hose the whole bed, and all that time and energy that you put into having those seeds is now wasted. So, disclaimer. I love that people plant the seeds. I think it's a great time to do it.
Just remember where you put them.
Remember where you put it. If you have a gardener, mark it off. Tell them not to touch it. Let them come up. Because
that is so true.
Yeah, I've gotten a number of phone calls from people, and they say, "Oh, your crew came through and they weeded the bed." I'm like, it's kind of their job. And they're like, "Oh, but I have flower seeds growing in there." I'm like,
well, did you tell anybody?
Did you tell anyone? Did you mark it off? I mean, when a weed is just sprouting out of the ground,
they all look the same.
They don't look like anything. They all look the same. So you're not going to be able to.
It's so much so that when I planted those seeds last year in the veggie pod,
you thought that.
Well, I forgot what was what.
Yeah.
So I knew I had cilantro, spinach, lettuce, carrots, And then I didn't do the troughs like I'm going to do this year, and they started to come up, and I'm like, I don't know what is what. And it took a while for the cilantro. Once I saw the cilantro, okay, that's lettuce. But you're even in that small of area, I've forgotten what I put where.
Yeah.
So
you know, just pull it or leave it, or
So
you know. And then year after year, you have to remember, if you have that wildflower bed,
it's going to keep coming back.
It's going to keep coming back, and so you have to
in
keep
places
thinking.
where you didn't put it.
Well, you have to keep thinking that bed. You're like, okay, I want to keep this as a flower bed. That's fine. Well, come spring, when you start to see all these things germinate in the soil, don't use pre-emergence, don't use a weed killer, don't hula hole the area, because that's those wildflowers coming back. And you know
what's another really cool thing too, and you mentioned about the birds being the ones spreading the seeds.
dropping a lot of seeds.
Yeah, that's a trick you can use in the garden too, is you set up their feeders along a certain line
where you want them to drop the seeds,
and they do their
they'll do it for you.
Yeah, they do their pooping right there, and in no time next year you've got this wildflower patch that comes up, which you like, then the birds are going to like it even better when they come back the next year.
You know, I'm wondering, we've had for the past 4 or 5 years, the first 3 years of finches, set up a nest in our patio.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, hummingbirds. And I'm wondering if they're going to be coming back again, because
the hummingbirds come back a lot.
They do, and I think that there was 3 hummingbirds, and I want to say I think they all survived, and I think they're hanging around a year later.
Wouldn't be surprised.
They set up camp in this plant that we had inside the patio under the eave, very smart, facing our window away from the crows and the wildlife. And after a while, they got used to me.
So amazing to see how tiny those
eggs are just.
And you wind up with these 2 huge birds
Yep.
crammed into this little eye cup. you
Right.
know, and they just seem to get along perfectly fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the mother at first, she'd fly away every time I walk out there. And after a while, kind of got used to me.
Yeah.
And the babies had no choice. They couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
And I'm taking pictures.
And, we think of them as being so cute and so interesting and whatever, but there's nothing
They're
more
mean.
angry than a mother hummingbird.
Do you know that we've got a feeder? We've got a hummingbird feeder, and then we've got like a little perch we set up next to it. And there's one hummingbird that patrols that area.
Mm-hmm.
And any other birds that come near goes after them.
Yeah.
They're vicious with each other.
Yeah. Yep. It's that little, what do they call it? Napoleon syndrome or something, like
Right.
the Dachshunds taking on the Great Danes.
Yeah, exactly.
But, they're not afraid.
They're fun to watch.
Yep.
But, the story I go back to with the hummingbirds is that my daughter loves them too, and we had a bird feeder out there, and she would love to go out there and see them. But as you said, when they get a nest on your patio or your porch or near where you're talking about, you start to walk out there, they start to dive bomb you.
Yeah.
It used to freak her out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We
It's
had
fun.
the year before that, I think, were finches, and the male finch does a lot of work.
Mhm.
So you watch this whole process of how everything comes together.
Yeah.
And does all the work and sits on the eggs and helps build the nest and
He's coming back and forth.
But you're right. Then they get they're very territorial.
Yeah.
And I would come out on the patio to work, and he's like, hey, get out of here. I'm like, well, you get out of here. This is my patio. And I think after a while we developed kind of an agreement.
You know how the hummingbird feeders, they typically have the colored food?
Yeah.
The
Yes.
red, because they go
Right.
right for that red stuff.
Yep.
One time when I was still living at my folks' house, I was walking through my laugh house, checking out my staghorn ferns and all that kind of stuff.
You said Laugh House?
Yeah. Not L-A-T-H.
Laugh House comedy show.
Not like ha-ha.
Not the Bob
No,
comedy show.
No, although there was plenty of laughing out there.
Of course.
But I had a glass of red wine, and I was walking through, and all of a sudden this hummer comes down, and it's like...
Right,
It,
and while
it
you're
was just
holding
the
it.
wine.
Had-
It wasn't the
oh,
fact
yeah.
that it was red. He just was
had
a
me stopped dead in my
wino
tracks. and
hummingbird.
See,
Your
here.
eyes get about this big.
Here
and it's
you
like,
go.
What is this going to do to me? And it was like...
lands on the cup, starts drinking.
Well, I
it.
had one time a year ago when I was changing the red sugar water in there.
Yeah.
So before I even got up on the steps, I'm holding it in my hand, and 2 came and landed right on it.
Really?
And I'm holding it, and I'm like, okay. And after a while, I'm like, my arm's getting tired.
Are you
I
guys
could
done
I
yet?
could just reach out, and I won't. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, what? And finally, they flew away, and I was able to hang it up. But they're gutsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like big bugs. They really are.
Like New
That's
York,
true.
where the pigeons
Yeah.
are
Go
considered
to
rats
Texas.
with wings.
But yeah, they fly flying around. All right, questions on Facebook, comments on Facebook, or let's see, 855-424-9825 here. Got a break coming up in about a minute.
Yeah.
Bob, how's all the new varieties of succulents coming in over there? And is there anything exciting for people to look forward to in the upcoming year?
You know what? Yeah, I'm sworn to secrecy.
Uh-oh.
Well, this is good. You can spell. Nobody's listening. Nobody's watching.
Right. What are we
Come
doing
on.
this for?
We're just us in the studio.
Yeah, there were. We had a dog and pony show for all of us that mattered, and Renee O'Connell's stuff and Kelly Griffin's new hybrids.
We'll talk more about this after the break. That's a good tease, Bob.
Yep.
Way to go.
And even things that we've been sworn to secrecy about. Okay, Facebook Live, questions, comments. I'm Bryan Main, Bob Reedmiller for John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Biz Talk Radio at 855-424-9825 as we step aside, take a break. Coming right back on Biz Talk Radio and Facebook Live.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who can't work because of a serious injury or illness, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. It doesn't matter if you've applied before and the government has said no. Let the experienced attorneys at Bill Gordon and Associates help you get the Social Security disability you deserve. Their team of attorneys have been fighting for benefits for people just like you for over 20 years. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. There are many conditions that make you eligible, including some you may not even be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Bill Gordon and Associates today for your free, no-obligation consultation. See if you qualify for the Social Security benefits you need and deserve. 800-470-4453. 800-470-4453. That's 800-470-4453.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. 800-915-9658. That's 800-915-9658.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-595-6619. That's 800-595-6619. Again, 800-595-6619.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. More than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-414-1958 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-414-1958. 1-800-414-1958. Call for your free Life Alert brochure today at 1-800-414-1958.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
Right back here on Garden America with Bryan Main. Bob Riedmiller for John Bagnasco at Tiger Palafox sharing a few laughs during the break. It must be very interesting if you're on Facebook, watching us on Facebook, just to kind of see the interaction, not being able to hear us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sometimes we just go into our own little spaces and just don't look at each other because it's like, I don't want to look at you anymore.
Exactly. Hey, before the break, though, Tiger was asking you about succulents and cactus and things happening this year.
Yeah, and I really, like I said, I really couldn't even give you names of things because, first off,
you haven't created it yet.
Well, my my memory has gotten so bad. This was like 2 months ago, and I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. So
no, I hear you.
But the stuff that Kelly and Renee come up with are just incredible. And as we get some stock built up on these items and whatever, either through tissue culture or vegetative, propagation. They'll start to show up probably in our regular mixes and things at the big box stores.
So you say when they come up with it, just new
hybrids, crossing things. And I learned something from Kelly, which I probably should have known, but didn't ever really take a botany class. He does a lot of work with aloes.
Okay.
And comes up with these great windowsill size type aloes, that don't get really huge. Colors and patterns on them are just incredible, but he's crossed some things that are kind of like a dachshund with a Saint Bernard,
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And I found out from him that typically when you do that, it doesn't work, and the reason being it's all physiological and very sciencey. But what happens is when the pollen hits the stigma of the plant. Each one genetically is predisposed to only go so far.
Okay.
And so if it's only supposed to go this far,
and
it has this far to go,
4
it's
inches
never
or so.
going to happen.
That's almost like what's in DNA, like a DNA barrier.
Yeah. And so what they do is they'll cut it open, put pollen right here.
So in other words, they'll take a little detour.
Forcing the issue.
And they'll go around it.
Yeah. And that's how he's getting some of his really crazy stuff. And I'm sure Renee does the same thing too.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but they breed for all these unusual patterns and colors and.
Do they wear white lab coats?
They look just like anybody on the street.
You're spoiling my visual here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm expecting to see Jurassic Park and having
weird. If you go
into
the tissue culture lab, people you do see that, and in fact, we're basically not allowed in. If you go in, you have to have kind of special permission,
clearance,
and you got to put booties on your feet to walk in, so you don't bring any disease or.
See, it is Jurassic Park there, Tiger.
Like that there.
So we do have a bit of that, but But no, Renee and Kelly, they just flop around in the greenhouses with their paintbrushes and things and do some what we call flower diddling.
Flower diddling.
Yeah.
And then to give a little bit of insight in for people, I mean, when we're talking about some of these growers, Altman's is what? The number 2 right now size grower in the United States?
Yeah, and not cactus and succulents,
no, but
nursery in
board.
general.
So,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
the second largest,
Bob here works with the number 2 grower in the United States when it comes to their acreage and what they're growing for the entire country.
Yeah.
But the one thing I'll say about that is it's a very intense process. When you go into their mother stock houses, the areas where they have the plants that they take the cuttings from to produce everything that goes out to people, these houses are double walled where you walk into one room, you kind of get disinfected, you put on that booties and the white coat and stuff like that, and then you walk through a solution so you don't track in any kind of thing.
See, he's been places I haven't been.
When you get into the greenhouse, the wind is designed to blow from one way and then out the other way.
Right.
So that way, if there's anything that
There's
does
no blowback.
enter, if there's anything that does enter, it takes it right out.
It's self-exhausting. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they're pruning these. They're taking these cuttings, and every 5 plants, they get a new pair of pruners that have been disinfected, have been cleansed, so that way they don't transfer any disease or anything onto the entire stock, because that entire stock in that house is what supplies their entire growing process. And if they lose
one bug started,
you could lose everything, right?
And that's millions upon millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so people think, plants and flowers. They see them at the garden center and they see it thinking this is easy thing. They threw some seeds in the ground and there it goes.
Oh yeah, for years people thought that I was actually walking around the fields like with a watering can. Going, oh, it must be so wonderful to work in a nursery. You have no idea.
No, it's scientific. It's
and aside from being the second largest nursery in the country, then we are the largest grower of cactus and succulents.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely more of a process than just kind of watering some plants, putting some seeds in the ground.
I told you we brought this up last week when we were in France last year, John and a bunch of listeners that we brought to Europe, that we went to John knows the name, but it was a place that grows and propagates roses. Mm-hmm. And we went in this huge greenhouse, and all you can see for just seemed like miles are roses. And then outside, this huge dirt pile, filled with roses. They're all the ones that didn't make the cut.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. What a waste. I go, no, that's about right. Huge.
It's funny because Renee will make a cross of some particular echeveria or something, and you have to grow on, theoretically, you should grow on all of the seeds that you get from that cross, because any one of them is going to be different from the next, just like your sister and your brothers.
Right, similar but different.
We look different, if you have the room to do it, you need to grow them all. And if what happens is you start picking and choosing, and you get rid of the ones that aren't the ones that look the greatest. But when you finally come down to the last dozen or half a dozen or something, you still wind up with 2 that are like really good, and you save those, and then the other 4 wind up still being propagated and get into circulation, but nobody knows what they are. And that's a little frustrating. Ping, his thing with the roses is really interesting because he comes up with all these incredible hybrids, plants them in the ground, and basically waters them in and forgets about them. And that's it. And whoever makes it, they're the winner.
And then he names it.
Yeah. No fertilizer, no pesticides, no herbicides, no mollycoddling or anything. So it's like the ones found in the cemetery that have been used since the 1800s. And so if that one makes it and has all the other good stuff going for it, like it smells good and it looks pretty and whatever, then you got a winner. So, but all those other ones into the compost pile.
Didn't make it.
Yeah.
So you're sworn to secrecy. There's all these, I don't know. Yeah. It's like Area 51. I mean, do you have flying saucers on the
It's really amazing.
Property?
Yeah, we were not allowed to even use our phone cameras. It was like
well,
no
of course.
Pictures,
Well, we had the same thing actually at this rose place in France. Yeah, we couldn't take pictures. Well, they told us where we could.
Yeah.
You can hear, but you can't hear.
Yeah.
And very secret. I mean, very clandestine, because obviously you've got competitors, other people that are very interested in what you're doing.
Right.
And, one rose, one species could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars to you.
Yeah. So, the other thing to keep in mind, too, is a lot of the newest plants that we come up with in cactus and succulents usually come available first at Oasis over in Escondido, the wholesale retail location, and also on our retail shop online at cactuscollection.com. So you'll see them there first before they get out to the rest of the world. So if you're really looking for something new and different, check out Oasis every now and then, and you might be the first one on your block to have one of those,
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So what changes year to year, though? The way you do things, what you learned from mistakes the year before, or is it pretty much the same all the time?
You're always doing something different, and so much.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be moving. There'd be no progress, obviously.
Yeah. It's really funny. So much of it, we're now so connected through social media.
Right.
Everybody. I mean, you can't do anything without 1,000 people knowing about it.
Mm-hmm.
That you start to learn some of the demographics that you never had access to before. And so you find out that, the teal greens or blues are like what's really cool. And so you focus on that kind of stuff.
This is what people want.
Yeah, people don't have the big yard or the big front yard, the landscape anymore, but they've got plenty of windowsills or
pots.
The greenhouse windows in the kitchens.
Like you talked about the aloe that they're propagating for the windowsill, the small aloes.
Right. So we focus on those kinds of things.
Okay, one more segment to go. Questions, comments on Facebook Live, or you can call us at 855-424-9825. Again, that's 855-424-9825. And again, Facebook Live. For John Bagnasco, Bob Riedmiller, Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. Garden America taking a break, coming back. One more segment on your Saturday morning, or if you're back east, Saturday afternoon.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Allergy sufferers are hearing a lot of numbers these days about symptoms and relief. But the number sufferers want most is zero, as in zero nasal allergy symptoms. And nothing gets you closer to zero than Nasacort. Because unlike antihistamines that stop only one cause of your allergy symptoms, Nasacort stops more. And stopping more gets you closer to zero. For 24-hour relief of your worst nasal allergy symptoms, including congestion, choose Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable. Use as directed.
Starting a business can be tough, but getting the word out about your business through a great website can be even tougher. That's why you need SpotOnWebsite.com. At SpotOnWebsite.com, you can register your company's domain name and even build your website overnight. It's fast, easy, and most of all, it's sure to fit your budget. SpotOnWebsite.com has a wide range of internet products and solutions to make the most of your website, even on a small business budget. Log on today and see for yourself at SpotOnWebsite.com.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit Doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 11ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.11ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 11ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
We paid less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-316-5271. That's 1-800-316-5271. 1-800-316-5271. Call now.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America radio show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825 or john@gardenamerica.com.
It is Garden America, just like that, our final segment on this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, depending upon where you are, here on Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825, or questions, comments, still time there right there on Facebook Live. And you've been on the computer quite a bit. Are you researching?
I'm finding out info. Well, I am researching, and one thing I'm researching, so we talked, you were, tomorrow, Super Bowl.
Tomorrow's Super Bowl. What are people making?
Guacamole was your...
Oh, yeah.
Tri-tip.
Avocados everywhere. I'm going to be juggling avocados. You're doing tri-tip.
I'm doing tri-tip. What are you doing, Bob?
Not a darn thing.
Arby's.
Arby's.
feels like an Arby's day.
Yeah, I'm just not a sports guy, so I don't really get into it.
Doesn't matter about the sports.
Well, no, I know that, but nobody's invited me any place or anything. So it's like, oh, whatever. But I tell you, the avocados are the only healthy thing that ever shows up at a Super Bowl party.
You know what? Avocados to me are just the best.
Oh yeah,
guacamole dip. Yep. Come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But everything else is like, it'll put you in the grave in about 20 minutes.
But now you've got a little pressure on me, I think, now, because now I want to do something a little more than that. I gotta plan something, I think, here.
Yeah.
Of course, well, it's good that the game starts later on in the day, because all the things I don't get done today, I'm going to do tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
be up early.
Running the errands and stuff like that.
You're up early anyway, right?
Yeah, I can't help it.
Yeah.
I could go to bed at midnight, and my body clock's going to say it's 4 o'clock. I'm going to say, let me sleep.
Mine says 4 o'clock, time to go to the bathroom. Then you go back to
then
bed.
you get back another 2 hours, right? So you're doing tri-tip, a little barbecue?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a marinade, a little bit of red wine, some oils, some garlic, some pepper.
So now, is it marinating now? Or
no, I'm going to start it today.
Oh, yum.
So that way by the late afternoon it'll be ready to go tomorrow. And
oh, that is so good. The way
really
it soaks like that. Just
Yeah.
get it.
My
And
mouth
falls
is
off.
watering talking about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Tender. It's got to be tender.
Right. Yeah. You know, how do you like your meat? Do you like
just a suggestion,
regular or
a suggestion of
medium?
pink? I want
A
pink.
suggestion.
Like I say, just give me a suggestion of pink in there.
Yeah.
So not overdone, but not raw.
I'll take it a little wiggly in the middle.
You like the cow mooing a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think things have changed over the years because what used to be medium rare in the old, I call the old days,
right?
Now looks a little different. So it looks a little rare to me.
A little more rare.
So I want it medium rare.
I think that's because in the old days they couldn't get it right.
Right?
Right.
They were calling it medium rare, but it really wasn't.
Now, how do you like it?
I like it crispy on the outside.
Oh,
so
boy.
like with the burnt ends,
Yep.
the tri-tip, the burnt ends, the crispy on the
Love
outside.
love the burnt.
And then rare in the middle. I like it
Blood?
rare in
Are
the
you
middle.
blood red?
I do like it rare. Tri-tip I cook a little bit more medium than rare. I like a good T-bone or something like that, rare.
Yeah.
But tri-tip, when it's too rare in the middle, I feel it's still a little too chewy. So.
Exactly.
Well,
So I get a little bit more medium-ish.
Make sure you cut it across the grain.
Yep.
And if you cut it the wrong way, you're going to be chewing it all week long.
There's some advice from Bob Miller how
Absolutely.
to cut and eat your steak.
Yep. Same thing with any kind of a piece of meat like that, like corned beef. Same thing. You've got to cut it across the grain. If you cut it long ways,
Not with the grain, across the grain, because that helps break it down when you chew.
Yeah, it cuts those fibers into little pieces. If you cut it long ways, you get a long string like this, and it doesn't want to go anyplace. So, and it makes a tough piece of meat taste really tender.
Now with pork, you got to cook pork. We can't. There's no eating rare.
You
pork.
know, not so much anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it really is not a bad thing. I mean,
now what's changed?
a little bit. Well, they've gotten the handle on the trichinosis. You know, that the pigs used to carry, the worm problem.
Okay.
And they're grown in so much better conditions.
I did not know that. So
Yeah.
I can have rare pork now.
Well, not rare, but a little
Sushi
pink.
pork.
Sushi.
No, a little pink in the middle is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it used to be that you had to cook it to death, and we grew up with pork chops that were like,
Oh yeah.
Leather.
you know,
Put them on the bottom of your shoes when you're done.
Because you still want it. You want them tender. Come on, right?
yeah. So,
And I like pork chops on the bone.
oh yeah,
Coming off the bone. I don't like these little pork chops they sell with, by themselves.
Nah.
No. Got to be manly.
I know. God, what a bunch of carnivores.
So it'll be fun watching the game tomorrow. I'm going to do some gardening this afternoon.
What are you
Got some
doing
trees.
today? You're
I
gonna
got some trees that I have to trim. I always mow the lawn in the front. I have the Husqvarna Automower for the back. It's a robotic mower. So I haven't mowed my backyard since I installed it.
and it does a good job.
Oh, it's awesome.
It does the whole
It's
thing.
awesome. I want one for the front yard.
You don't
but-
have to go back and trim it here and there. Like it doesn't miss places. I mean,
Nope. I have to edge it with like a weed whacker every so often. But other than that, no, it mows itself. I don't even see I used to have it programmed where I could see the mower running in the middle of the day. Now I just have it running from midnight to 4 a.m. or something.
Wow.
I don't even see the lawn get mowed.
but now wouldn't that not be good in terms of moisture and dew, or does
What
it
do you
matter?
mean?
Well, like at night, you get moisture and dew.
Oh no, the blades on it are like razor blades. So unlike a regular standard mower blade that can dull and kind of shred the grass as it dulls with the moisture or anything like that. No, I mean this is razor blades, and so it ticks off just a little bit at a time, so it's easy. And no, it'll do it it'll mow the lawn in the rain.
How often do you do it?
Well, it goes every day.
Oh, so it's like
Always.
shaving every day.
Always the same.
You never let the beard even show.
No, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I love it.
Is that crazy or what? It's like the Jetsons.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, absolutely. Well, look at all the voice activation things today. Talk about the Jetsons, everything. My car. I just talked to my car, and it does. And I still think that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's incredible. I didn't realize that they had them, that they were that good now.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something that people get used to because it's not the classic, you got lines in your lawn and once a week you mow it kind of a thing. It's kind of a daily basis, and it kind of keeps going. But the grass looks really healthy, and it's always looking good. So I like that.
And you're letting the grass clippings go right back into the grass?
Yeah, they go right back into the grass.
Especially when they're cutting them that fine.
Small. You don't even notice.
You don't even see it.
You don't even notice.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want I know people used to mow the lawn and then rake everything up, and spend all that time. And it's
we
like,
pile it around the trees and things like that, used as a mulch.
Exactly. I remember using an old Toro lawnmower and putting gas in.
You know what we had in 1965, I think it was, in New Jersey, Toro came out with what they called a fly mow, and it had no wheels. And it was
be like a hover, like it
was
would
a
lift up on
lawnmower.
air.
I never saw that.
And Google it. You can still find people that have them in the garages for sale.
Awesome.
And it hovers?
Yeah. And it was so cool.
That's
you
awesome.
could do like this.
I gotta find
that.
You could do a little dance for us. Hey, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in Facebook Live, and the rest of you hearing us, however you're hearing us, streaming or whatnot, Biz Talk Radio. For the entire crew, John Bagnasco, want to thank Bob Breedmiller for filling in. Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main, Zach, Jeremiah, Brandon, the whole crew back again next week. Until then, get growing, America. Take care and be safe.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the